Hello everyone, this is Moschophoros from the Legends and Friends Guild, and I'm here today to show you my Tower of Pwnage Autorun Team. So, I like to put Shade in first position, Shadowblade second, Yasmine third as my first normal, and round it out with Yorick. Let's go ahead and see how this goes today. First off, I'll talk about Shadowblade. He's kind of the star of the team. I do have him max epic, epic 12, and his epic when it fires is a lot like Black Diamond's Assassinate. So he has the chance to clear the entire room. Aside from that, he's pretty good at evading, pretty good at dodging. Shade also helps keep him alive and undebuffed, I guess I'll say. Kind of protects him there. So he is the star of the team. Hopefully we'll see him work his magic in some of the upcoming floors. All right, off to floor 2. Next up, we'll talk about Shade. Shade's main job is to really protect Shadowblade, kind of, shroud him from debuffs. He also reduces damage to himself and Shadowblade. Here we go. Here goes Shadowblade's epic. That should pretty much clear the room. All we'll have to deal with is Ponti's skeleton. Shade also has a very powerful hit on his own, and his epic also hits very hard. So Shade, a nice member of the team. My Shade doesn't do as much work as, for example, Zombie's Shade. Zombie brings Braum and Zom along on his team. So Shade has more heroes to protect than he does on my team. But he does good enough for me. Third up, I'll talk about Yasmine. She is the healer on the team. Her epic also is maxed, epic 12. Well, there goes Shadowblade again. Not giving me enough time to talk. So I guess we're going up to the 4th floor now. So Yasmine is the healer. She can cleanse any debuffs. Shroud sort of protects himself in Shadowblade the first round. Yasmine can take care of anything that happens beyond that. Unfortunately, she's in 3rd position. First normal, but 3rd position overall, which means that very often Shade and Shadowblade are going to take care of the enemies, meaning there's less opportunities for Yasmine to attack, less opportunities for her epic to hit. Typically she does best, in fact there it fired, typically she does best when she is as close to 1st position as possible. 3rd position is lower than I like to have her. It works here in the tower. I don't like to have her that far down when I'm auto-running Boss Island, for example. I like to have her much closer to 1st position. The more opportunities she has for her epic to fire, the better your team's going to be in the long run. So that leaves us with Yorick. Oh, we've got a Shade here. Shade's one hero you want to watch out for. If he survives to round 2, you're probably going to lose one of your heroes. So let's see if I get lucky here or not. Oh, good, I got lucky. Okay. So Yorick is last up on my team, probably the most unexpected, unusual character to find on my Tower Autorun team. But if you managed to see my Lava Academy Autorun team, you saw just how powerful he could be. He's very survivable, doesn't get hit very hard. His regular hit isn't too powerful, but his epic hits very hard, and he self-heals on an epic attack. So he gets double healed by himself and by Yasmine. So he tends to survive pretty well. So I like to bring him along on most of my Boss Island Autorun teams. I like him here in the tower as well. Alright, this team giving us a little bit of trouble. You may have noticed that most of the floors I'm facing, the heroes are very low level, not very high starred. I shoot to get the easiest tower I can get before I auto run. The strategy I use for that is before I close out one tower, before I defeat Lord Chromis on the 12th floor, I like to go into my dungeon and fight a PvP battle against an easier opponent. I like to find someone who is somewhere between level 66 and 70. You don't want to go more than, for example, 4 levels below yourself. Somehow it doesn't seem to work if you go against level 65 or 64 if you're a level 70 player. You also want to find someone whose defensive team is pretty low in power. And by low in power, I mean 16 to 20k. If I do any more than 20k, I find that my tower ends up being a little tougher. Before opening this one, I defeated a level 69 player with about 17k defensive power. And that set me up with a relatively easy tower to fight here. Oh, good. So, looks like we're going to take care of Shade. If Shade survives to round 2 and Spirit Links, you're probably going to lose that guy. So, I guess maybe I'll go on to what to watch out for, what to avoid when running the tower with this team. The first hero I'll mention is Shade. If you do see a Shade, it's often a very good idea to stop the auto run, target him immediately, take him out. Because as I said, if he survives to round 2, he will Spirit Link one of your heroes, and that hero is for sure gone. So you do want to watch out for that. Next hero I would watch out for is Koros. Koros is especially powerful against magical heroes. Shade, Yasmine, and Yorick are all magical, so they will all take extra damage from Koros, and even a level 62 Koros could be pretty damaging to this team, could potentially wipe out the team, so you want to watch out for him. Third hero you want to watch out for is Ella. If she charms Shadow Blade especially, you could be looking at losing your entire team in one shot. Lastly, Masuta Kira, especially one level 67 and above, 5 stars or above. Even though Shade and Shadow Blade will take reduced damage from him, he could still do enough damage to, take out 1 or 2 of your heroes and destroy your auto run. This next floor looks like it might be a little challenging. A lot of light heroes, not very high level. Let's go ahead and see how our team does. Alright. Well, there you see Masuta Kira didn't do too much damage, only level 64. Oh, there's Beloved. Epic attack against Shadow Blade. There's an epic from Shade, and we took care of business there. Yorick's a little low on health, but I think he'll be fine going into the next room. Let's see, who are we seeing here up on floor 10? A level 65, Masuta Kira. Level 65, Shade. This could be the floor that does me in. So let's go ahead and take a peek here, see how we do. Yorick being undead takes a little extra damage from Masuta Kira. Let's see what Shade does here. Quite a bit of damage to Shadow Blade there. Oh, that might be the end of Yorick. Nope, she's not powerful enough. And thank goodness. Woo! Shade got his Spirit Link off. I probably would have lost somebody. Count myself lucky there. Again, in a real situation, I might stop my auto run, go ahead and take care of business, and restart the auto run. Not doing that today to demonstrate what this team can be capable of. So here we are up on the 11th floor. It'd be nice if Yasmine could get a heal off here. Kai won't do much to us. Alright, taking care of him, and Shadow Blade should wipe the floor for us. There we go. That brings us up to the 12th floor in Lord Chromis. So I'm going to call this a successful auto run today. Still would feel more comfortable if Yasmine got off one epic attack just to kind of heal everybody, but everybody seems to be holding their own. Alright. So I like to quote Zombie here, who says that Lord Chromus is as irrelevant as he ever was. I think that still holds true. He's unlikely to take out any of my heroes today. All right, and here comes red, the final color. There we go. So we took care of business. Tower complete. We're going to go check out the heroes now, see what their epics, see what their stats and their runes look like. So back to town. Alright, let's take a look at Shadowblade first. First off, he is max epic, epic 12. That gives his epic a 30% chance of firing off. Love his epic, absolutely love it. We'll look at his stats next. I've got his attack up to almost 5,500, so he hits pretty hard. Defense not so great, not doing anything with his skill. Health right close to 7,000. He's got a pretty high crit chance, pretty high dodge chance, but mostly he's there for his power and his epic. So we'll take a look at his runes. Superior power rune, lots of attack. Another superior power, this one only heroic, but still lots of attack. There's a duelist rune I picked up in PvP, or I'm sorry, in PvP in the seasons. Lots of attack, 12% damage versus legendary. Not sure how often that comes up. I got that life rune on him just to give him a little bit of health. It's got a little other defensive stats on it. And then a duelist rune that I picked up, 12% versus magical I like. And that's where most of his crit comes from. A little extra attack right there. So there is Shadowblade. We'll take a look at Yasmine next. She has max epic, again, gives herself a 30% chance for that epic to fire. Again, it doesn't fire as often as it does in my PvE Autorun teams because she's really in third position instead of closer to first or second. Take a look at her stats. Not much attack, not much defense, not much skill. I mostly have her with health right now, 11,500. I might be looking to boost that defense just a little bit. Not much there in the way of crit, a little bit of damage reduction, not enough to really do much. So we'll take a look at her runes. Let's see, there's a greater life rune, lots of health. An improved champion rune that I picked up in one of the early pre-seasons. A little bit of damage reduction there. Vampiric rune I put on for PvE. Sometimes I found her epic wasn't firing enough, and when she hit, she was able to heal herself a little bit to stay alive. She's absolutely crucial to keep alive if a lot of those auto-run teams are going to make it. So there's that Vampiric rune. A Superior Aegis rune, a mix of stats on that, and a Greater Bulwark rune, again with a mix of defensive stats. That light resist is a holdover from a long time ago. Alright, so we're going to look at Yorick next. Once again, I have his epic all the way up to 12. Gives him a 30% chance for that big attack and to self-heal. That comes up quite a bit. Take a look at his stats real quick. Not a very heavy hitter. I only have his attack at 3,300. I got his defense close to 3,000, health close to 9,000. A little bit of crit, not too much. I kind of rely on his epic and just his general survivability just to kind of hold his own. We'll take a look at his runes. Greater life rune with lots of health. There's an improved Aegis rune. Mix of stats on that one. Greater power rune, mostly there for the attack. Would love to upgrade that one someday soon. There's a lesser Aegis rune with a mix of defensive stats, 14% versus magical. And then an improved Vampiric rune, again on there for PvE, for auto-running those boss islands. A mix of stats there as well. So he could be buffed up a little bit. But as I said, he holds his own very well. So the last member of the team is Shade. Shade also is Epic 12. His Epic doesn't do a whole lot. He's mostly there because he's fast, he hits hard, he protects our hero, our star of the show, Shadowblade. Taking a look at his stats, I do have his attack 4758. Got his health close to 9,000. Like to keep his crit at 50%. Not too much in the way of defense. I use him on attack and PvE, PvP rather, not on defense. So he's more attack based than he is defensive based. Got an improved life rune to give him some health. Greater champion rune for defense. Greater power rune with attack. 15% damage versus rogues. His greater duelist rune has another 12% damage versus rogues. That gives him 27%. Love to use that in PvP. A little bit of attack, a little bit of health on this one. And lastly, the greater tactics rune. Again, sort of reduces some damage in PvP. That's where he gets a lot of his crit right there. And then a mix of other skills. So those are the 4 heroes I like to use when I auto-run the tower. Wish you all the best of luck auto-running your towers. Thank you for watching, and enjoy yourselves out there.